news from where you live.
Former workers at a car parts company in Basildon have taken their protest over their pensions to Downing Street. 180 staff at Visteon UK were made redundant when the company went into administration.
It's an ongoing battle, first for their redundancy pay, now their pensions. These former Ford workers say when they were transferred over to Visteon UK in 2000, they were promised mirror terms. Instead, they've had their pensions slashed.
We're not looking for charity, we're not looking for handouts. These people paid, some of them for 40 years, into a pension scheme just to be robbed of £350 million by companies that are worth billions.
And travelling to London this morning as former workers from the Basildon plant met, their anger was clear.
So I gave them many years of my life and my family's life, and now they've bitterly let us down. I feel devastated.
It's my future. I mean, I said to my wife recently, you know, how's our life going? You know, what are we going to do? And she said, what life? We just can't plan for the future anymore.
The eyes of the world are on us today.
This afternoon, around 300 former workers and members of the Union Unite congregated in Parliament Square. Some of the former Visteon workers here today have had about a 50% reduction in their pension. Today, they've marched through London to present a petition to Gordon Brown, exactly 1 year after Visteon UK went into administration. And that collapse saw weeks of protests last year when workers from Basildon, Enfield and Belfast had to fight to get redundancy pay. Now they want their pensions. They insist if nobody listens, the union will begin legal action against Ford. But Ford say the responsibility for managing the pension fund lies with Visteon and they can't provide any further assistance. Felicity Simper, BBC Look East.
The parents of a boy with brain damage have been awarded nearly £2 million. 8-year-old Kyle Birch can't walk or talk. He was starved of oxygen when he was born at Colchester General Hospital. The Trust has apologised for a breach of duty. The money will pay for lifelong care. The former leader of Essex County Council has confirmed he will claim parliamentary privilege in his fight against charges that he fiddled his expenses. Lord Hanningfield's lawyers said today the case should be tried by Parliament and not the courts. A judge will hear his legal argument in May, along with those of 3 MPs facing charges arising from their expenses.
The village of Walberswick in Suffolk is a magnet for the likes of film directors, broadcasters and politicians, all looking for a bit of peace and quiet. But some people who live there are worried it could become Bungalowville. They're fighting plans for a new housing development on the site of a former garden.
This is Walberswick on the Suffolk coast with its creeks, its windswept beach, tea rooms and pretty cottages. Property here is sought after. Film producer Richard Curtis, broadcaster Simon Mayo and politician Jeff Hoon all have homes here. But now property developer Andrew Wells Baker wants to put 8 properties on the site of an old garden next door to his house. Some villagers are not happy. Retired Army officer Alan Walpole is one of them.
I have no problems about building in Walberswick, but I have objections about building inappropriate buildings in Walberswick, especially of this size, 8 houses in quite a small area.
Some of the proposed properties will be bungalows designed for any elderly Walberswick resident wanting to downsize, but that hasn't stopped objections being made. Mr. Wells Baker didn't want to appear on camera today, but he did tell me that he's disappointed by the amount of ill feeling in the village. The matter goes before planners at Suffolk Coastal District Council at the end of April. Mike Liggins, BBC Look East, Walberswick.
The country's first ever Green Lord Mayor has just been elected for Norwich, and at 29, Tom Dillon is also one of the city's youngest mayors. He'll take on the title officially in May. Earlier I asked him how he felt about being appointed to the post.
Oh, it feels a very proud moment for me. I'm very pleased and thrilled to be chosen as the next mayor, and obviously the Green Lord Mayor makes it all the sweeter.
And not only are you green, but you're also very young to be a Lord Mayor, aren't you? 29.
Well, thank you very much. I think it's great to have older, experienced Lord Mayors as well. But yeah, I hope to be able to bring that to the role this year.
Is there any element of being a Green that clashes at all with the role of Lord Mayor? For example, a lot of driving around in smart cars and wearing fancy chains.
Sure. Well, I think, first of all, the role of Lord Mayor is apolitical, and the whole idea is to promote the values of the city, and I'm really looking forward to doing that. In terms of specifics on problems with that, I hope that while the role's apolitical, I'm able to bring my values and personality to the role, again, as previous Lord Mayors have done. So I think, for example, if an event was nearby and I was able to, I might choose to walk or cycle to that event, because that's what I do often anyway. So I don't see any particular clash there, and just hope that I'm able to embody the role whilst obviously paying it the respect and doing the right thing for the city.
The Greens have had quite a strong presence in Norwich for quite a while now. How significant do you think it is that the Lord Mayor is Green?
The role is obviously apolitical, but at the same time, people are going to make that connection, and I think it just shows that the Greens are becoming more embedded and our support is growing. But like I say, it's not really part of the Lord Mayor's role.
40 decorated deck chairs have gone on show in Suffolk to raise money for St Elizabeth Hospice. They've all been designed by leading figures in the arts and will be auctioned in October.
Essex County Council is backing a course to give young people a chance to be a volunteer at the London 2012 Olympic Games. The idea is to use the Games as a learning tool, which could help if the teenagers are chosen as volunteers.
It's a 10-week programme called Personal Best, and it's being rolled out by Civic College in Colchester, Braintree and Basildon. It's for 16 to 18-year-olds who are not in full-time work or education.
We're going to be looking at health and safety, the pros and cons of what happens in events. We're going to be looking at the economics of the Olympics and what it takes to become a volunteer.
If they complete the course, students like Daisy from Basildon will be guaranteed an interview to become a London 2012 volunteer. As a keen swimmer, she's got her heart set on the Aquatic Centre.
If I got through the interview, I'd love to go and volunteer at the swimming and dive in where they hold that, because I love swimming, and just to see it there and be part of the atmosphere would be great. I'd love to meet Michael Phelps and Rebecca Adlington. They'd be the two people I'd love to watch swim, and I'd love to just meet them.
Once upon a time, Daisy wanted to be like Rebecca Adlington. She's a keen swimmer and belongs to the Basildon Phoenix Club. She may not be swimming in 2012, but she can still be there.
It's really important for us. It's not just about that games time experience. It's also as a springboard to other opportunities, and the training that she'll get really will give her skills that she can take into future volunteering opportunities, or more importantly for us, actually into work.
London 2012 is launching its search for volunteers in July, but because of this scheme in Essex, Daisy and 100 or so like her will be at the head of the queue. Sean Peel, BBC Look East.
You're watching